Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the vlog. Today is Thursday, October the 6th, and I'm currently sitting in my van. This seems to be the easiest place to do any kind of video where I want to talk for a little bit because it's quiet. I actually have Millie asleep in the car seat back there, so she could technically wake up at any time, but she hasn't had a morning nap, so hopefully she'll sleep good. I'm out though because Allie has an orthodontist appointment this morning, and this morning is an hour-long appointment, so I knew I would have some time. So while she's in there, I figured I would go ahead and do this video. I have seen these floating around on YouTube and different places where people do assumptions videos, and it's just where you make an assumption about somebody, something that you think about them or their life, and then they answer it and tell you if that's true or not. And I know a lot of times watching people on YouTube or just watching their life in general, you can make assumptions about people that could either be true or not true. So I thought, you know what, it might be kind of fun to do an assumptions video and just see what you all think and to see if it's true or not, and I'll be answering those today. But first, if you're new here, my name is Shasta. I am a homeschooling mom to 9 girls. My husband and I have been married for 17 years. That is so hard to believe. My girls range in ages from 16 all the way down to 14 months old. And here on this channel, I just love to share my passion for Christ. Day in the life vlogs, recipes, homeschooling, homemaking, all of that kind of stuff. So if any of that interests you, we would love if you would stick around and hit that subscribe button down below. Become part of our YouTube family and just follow along here. I have such a great community here of people that I just really and truly enjoy talking to and interacting with you in the comments. But anyway, that's just a little bit about me before we jump straight into this video. I've got all my assumptions here on my phone, so you'll see me looking here to answer these. I actually asked over on Instagram and on my YouTube community tab, so I'm going to answer from both of those. Some of them were the same assumption, so I won't like repeat myself, but let's get started. All right, the first one says, you and Josh are very calm parents and never yell at the girls. I would love to say this is true, but we are human. I know there may be people out there that don't ever yell, but yes, we have raised our voice, we have yelled. So I don't think anybody is like 100% patient all the time. I mean, if you are, I totally admire you. I really do. Share your tips on that, but I honestly think it's just really hard to be patient all the time. So yes, we have yelled and raised our voice. The next one says that you like to bake. I do kind of like to bake. I have to be in a mood for baking, if that makes sense. Like, I am not someone that just gets in the kitchen and bakes all the time, but I do take these moods where like I want to get in the kitchen and bake like all the things, especially this time of year. From like now until New Year, I want to try all kinds of different things and bake. So I don't know, I guess that's kind of half and half. Sometimes I enjoy to bake, sometimes I don't. It says you always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and yes, that is very true. Especially since the time that I got married and had our first daughter, I knew for sure that I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. Even though I did work a few jobs here and there at the beginning of our marriage, I really wanted to stay home with my girls. I'm so thankful that I'm able to do that. So I'm very thankful that I do get to stay home with them. This next one is so funny because like I feel like you just know me somehow. It says you are an introvert. You struggle to keep up with laundry. Yes, I am totally an introvert. Like, people that watch my channel probably, I don't know, like people in real life can't believe that I even have a YouTube channel because in person, I'm a pretty shy, reserved person. Like, so yes, I am definitely an introvert for sure. Not to say that I won't talk to you if you come up and speak to me. I love talking to new people that come up to me. But yeah, I would say I'm an introvert and struggling to keep up with laundry. I would say I do a pretty good job at keeping up with laundry. Nobody ever has to wear dirty clothes, and we always have clean towels. But the amount of people in our house, that laundry is never, ever completely done. There's always something in the basket. I mean, you think there's 11 people in the house. By the end of the day, we change into our pajamas. Next morning, we change into clothes. There's always laundry. There's always laundry. The next one says, I assume that you enjoy hosting people at your house. Yes, I love that part. I love hosting Thanksgiving and Christmas. I can't even count how many years it's been now. Many years that Josh and I have hosted all of our family into our home for Thanksgiving and Christmas, Easter. And we really enjoy that. We really enjoy cooking for everybody and having everybody over to eat with us. The next one says, I assume that you're a very loyal friend. All that, thanks, that's really sweet, and I like to see myself as that. I have one really good friend. We've been friends for, let's see, Emily was only like 1, she's 12 now, so about 11 years we have been really good friends. So yeah, I would say that I'm a loyal friend. I assume that you don't get overwhelmed easy. I would say this is mostly true, but I do have times where, I don't know, just things hit me all of a sudden. I'm like looking around the house and there's laundry here, there's clutter here, this kid needs to either get a snack or have a bath, and it's just like a sudden of like, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed right now, and I just kind of have to give myself a little bit of break, breathe and pray, and then get back to it. But on like an everyday basis, no, I don't get overwhelmed, just because I know there's a lot to be done, and I try to give myself grace knowing that I can't get it all done. I'm thankful for all the people, my family, that pitch in to help. But yeah, I do have times where I get overwhelmed, but it's not like an everyday thing. It's just like once in a while it'll hit me like, I've got all of this to do, how am I going to do it? So that does happen sometimes. It says, I assume that you don't lose your temper often. And that is true. Like, I'm not the type of person that will just like lose my temper over anything. I do have times where I get pretty upset, but it's really hard to make me like really mad. I don't know. I'm just that kind of person where I don't like just terribly lose my temper. But that goes back to, do I yell? Sometimes I do yell, but that doesn't mean that I've like just lost my temper and I'm just, yeah. Next one says, you are always calm. I'm a pretty laid back person, yes. I feel like most time I am laid back. Am I always calm? No. Like I said, sometimes I raise my voice, sometimes I get overwhelmed, things like that. But overall, I'm a pretty laid back, calm person. It says, I'm assuming that you don't struggle financially. Love your videos, thank you so much. And I want to say that we have had times in our life where we have really struggled financially. I don't really like talking about finances on YouTube with like tons of people. But I don't feel like we struggle right now in this season, which I'm very thankful for. And I'm very thankful for my husband, who works really hard, and for God just always providing everything that we need and then some. So I don't like to get into a lot of details about finances because I feel like that's just a personal issue. But yeah, we have had times in our life where we have struggled a pretty good bit, but right now in this season, thankfully, we do not struggle financially. Another assumption she said is that God has helped your marriage and family life to become more and more beautiful as you have grown closer to Him. And yes, that is a very correct assumption, that God has definitely intervened in our marriage. I don't know if I've shared, yeah, I've shared this before on one of my testimony videos, but yeah, for sure, if it wasn't for the Lord, we would not be where we are today in our marriage and in our family and have all of these beautiful girls. Because after my first was born, we went through a really hard spot in marriage, and divorce was talked about. And yeah, I honestly did not think our marriage was going to make it. I honestly thought we were going to end up in divorce and have Kylie, which was just one daughter. But I'm so thankful that God intervened and He brought our marriage back together. He restored us, and then look, now we have 9 beautiful girls, and who knows if we'll have more. I don't know, we'll just have to see. But I'm very thankful for what the Lord has done in our marriage and in our family, and He can do the same for you. If you are struggling and having a hard time, just lean on Him. He wants to know your need. Even though He already knows your needs and your struggles, He still wants you to come to Him and ask Him. So He is faithful. This one says, I assume that Josh will learn to like iced coffee. I also assume that you will have a lot of grandchildren. The iced coffee part, I don't know. He's just not an iced coffee person. I have tried it. I've tried different flavors, and he doesn't like it. And a lot of grandchildren, we have actually talked about this, and that would be a huge blessing. I think we will also have a lot of grandchildren. It says, I assume you and Josh have a great relationship and communication and never have arguments. We do have a wonderful relationship. It is much better than it was years ago. Like I just said, we do still have arguments. I feel like any close married couple are going to have disagreements, going to have arguments about things. Things are going to come up. That's just part of having a relationship with somebody and being close to someone. But we do have a really great relationship in marriage. This one says, I'm assuming you'll be in your beautiful home for a long time. You and Josh have a beautiful family. Thank you so much. Yes, as far as we know, as far as we can see, we will be in our house. We look at it as our forever home. Will it be? I don't know. As of right now, that's what we say. God could have different plans. But yes, I assume you grew up in a loving and nurturing home just as you have created for your children. Thank you. I appreciate that. My parents were very loving and I love them very much. I assume you never yell at your kids. This goes back to the beginning of the video where yes, I have yelled at my kids. Listen y'all, this is a honest video. I'm not going to tell any lies. I'm not going to tell you any stories. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat anything to make it look better than what it is. I am a real life mom that has moments, okay? This one says, assumption, y'all need a visit with the Fields family soon. Miss you, friend. Miss you too, Jessica. If you don't already watch Jessica over Fields Full House, I'll leave her YouTube channel in the description box below. I love her family. Our kids are actually really good friends. My oldest girls and her oldest girls actually Marco Polo each other all the time and text, and they have a really good relationship, and I have begged Jessica to move to South Carolina. I would love to have her here. Next assumption says, you want more kids. You're moving soon. Love your channel. Thank you. So the moving soon, that is not a correct assumption. We have no plans on moving. You want more kids. That is a correct assumption. I would love more kids. That is totally in God's hands. I will say that I thought for sure I would be pregnant by now. I'm just saying, I thought that I probably would be, but I'm not. So that just tells you that the Lord is in control. He is over all things. So will we have more? I don't know. It says, I'm assuming that you do let your husband talk to people. Yes, I do. That's so funny. If y'all don't know what we're talking about on our Q&A that Josh and I did, it was supposed to be a couples Q&A, but I got to talking and I answered most of the questions while he sat. And after that, I felt kind of bad. I was like, you know what? I should have let you answer more questions. So we'll do another one of those again and we'll let him talk more. She also said, I assume that y'all would love to have a son. You are very correct. We would love to have a son, but we would also love to have another daughter. We just want a healthy baby. That is what we want every time. We were expecting a son at one time. I told y'all this, and we lost him at 16 weeks. I never got to actually meet him. I did get to see his sweet little face on ultrasound. But yeah, we would love to have a son here with us. I assume that you somehow get enough sleep every night. Y'all, Millie is still not sleeping all the way through the night. She'll have times where she'll solid sleep. But I've told y'all she will not sleep in her crib. I've tried it and I've tried it. Trust me, this is my ninth kid. I know what to do, but she just will not do it. And she still has times where she wakes up through the night, which makes me feel kind of like restless through the night. But thankfully through the day, I mostly feel rested. I hit like an afternoon slump where I feel really tired. But yeah, I would say that's correct. I somehow end up with enough sleep even with her waking up through the night still. The next one says, I assume you will have another baby next year. That would be lovely. Like I said, I don't know. It's in God's hands. I would love to have another baby next year, but we'll see. It says, I assume your kids will be going to college. How do you and Josh feel about it? I ask because you are such a close family and you homeschool. We want the girls to do what they feel led to do after high school, whether that's go to a college, go to a tech school, not go to college at all, go straight into working. We're gonna guide the girls, but we're gonna let them all make that decision for themselves. We're not gonna push anything on them that they would not want to have for their lives, because I know many people that have went to college straight out of high school to like get this big degree, and then they end up wanting to stay home with their child, but they cannot stay home with their child because they owe this student loan now. So I say all of that to say that I want them to do what they feel like God is leading them to do, because I feel like after high school they can kind of make that decision for themselves, and we're there to support them on what they decide. This one says, I assume your dream career as a child was to be a teacher. Yes, it was. I always wanted to be a kindergarten teacher, to be exact. I would play school. I would get my mom, I remember doing this, my mom would go buy Big Lots and buy me like the little folders and like a stapler and papers, and I would pretend like I was filing papers. I don't know, what a nerdy kid. That was so nerdy, wasn't it? But I did. I would like file papers and like pretend like I was grading papers, and I would want to wear high heels and walk across the floor because it sounded like a teacher. And then when I got into high school, we had like this shadowing program where you could go watch someone, like what you wanted to be when you got out of school, and I would always go shadow a kindergarten teacher, and I loved it. So I feel like God met that desire, but even more than that, because I get to homeschool my own children, and it's a blessing. This one says, I assume that your favorite latte is a peppermint mocha because of the creamer. I do love the peppermint mochas. I really do, and you got me thinking about that now. I don't think they come out yet though, have they? I think they come out in November. But yeah, I love some peppermint mocha. This one says, I assume you have the patience of a saint. Thank you. I feel like I have a good bit of patience, but it does run thin sometimes. Assuming with all those girls, Josh really wants a boy. He does. He wants a boy. I would take a boy or a girl. This one says, I assume both you and your hubby rarely get upset with each other. I kind of answer that where we do have a good relationship, but we do get upset with each other sometimes. It says, I assume you have it all together all the time. Girl, thank you, but I do not have it all together all the time. I don't. I assume you are extremely organized. I assume that you and your family might move to another state. The move to another state is not correct. We do not plan to move, even though I joke with Josh sometimes about moving to Tennessee because it's such a beautiful place. We have no plans on moving. And the extremely organized, in my mind, I want everything to be extremely organized and in its place. But with having 9 kids, that's not realistic. I try to be as organized as I can. Especially with their like school things. I try to have everything in its place. That way we're not digging for things when it's school time. Laundry is something that I feel like I am always working on getting organized. I will get it so perfect and so organized, and then here we go again. Got more clothes to sort through. I want to be a really organized person. I do. No, in reality, I would take the big family over being perfectly organized any day. I do want to be organized, but it's not always possible. This one says, I'm assuming you are easygoing and fun. I kind of answered this about being laid back. I feel like I am pretty easygoing. And fun, I don't know. I guess you'd have to ask my family. I don't think they think I'm that fun. I do try to joke and have fun with the kids and like make them laugh and do silly things. And Josh and I will joke together sometimes and laugh and have fun. So we do try to have fun together. I assume news of a new house and their baby. No new house. As of right now, no baby on the way. I assume your oldest kids don't want to be video because we never see them, and you're exactly right. If you ever do see my oldest kids in a video, any vlog at any time, it's because I have showed them the clip and asked them if it's okay if I put them in there, because I have had it in there and they say, no, will you take that part out, and I'll take it out for them. If they say I can leave it, I leave it. I don't know, just when they reach that age, they become like totally shy. My little kids, like they could pick this camera up and do their thing all day long and video themselves, but when they reach like, I want to say like 12, 13 years old, they're like, Mama, please don't put me on there. And I respect that. This one is an assumption. She just said, do you still have one dog? And yes, we still have our Willie. We've had him about 2 years now. And then she also said, are you moving because of all of the changes to the kitchen? No, we're not moving. We just made the changes to the kitchen because we just wanted to update it a little bit and get things a little bit more organized. Like we needed a bigger pantry, and I wanted my cabinets white, so we painted those and then put new white cabinets in the kitchen. So anyway, but that's all the assumptions that I have, and that was fun. That was fun to answer those. I was kind of nervous, to be honest with you, to put that out there because I didn't know what some people would assume. But I'm thankful that y'all didn't assume anything bad, and if you did, you didn't leave it. So, but thank you for all of your assumptions. Thank you for participating and making this fun. I hope you got to learn just a little bit more about me, and know that when you watch these YouTube videos, it may portray that people have these perfect lives, but they do not. We're all human. We all make mistakes. We all mess up, and that's just part of life. So I hope y'all enjoyed this assumptions video. Like I said, if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button down below. Give this video a thumbs up because that really does help me out. And as always, I will talk to you in the comments. Bye, y'all. And Millie slept through this whole thing. She must have been tired.